Alright Guardian, this is our solo player's guide to the Nightfall. We're doing it this week with a hunter. It is the Garden World. That is the one where the laser beam Vex thing goes around and around and around at the very end. Pretty difficult. Not gonna lie. I did start off with a Night Stalker. Bottom tree, this is how I was doing it. Until I got up to the boss fight, and then we switch over to the Gunslinger, because Night Stalker grenades don't do all that much damage to it. It'll do that initial blast damage, and then that's it. So we rocked, for the boss fight, we rocked Swarm Grenades. Bottom tree, doesn't really matter. Strafe Jump, and then we rocked Celestial Nighthawk. This is on sale from Zura this week. Definitely, if you don't have it, definitely pick it up, rank it up, or level it up or whatever, infuse it, because it did help a lot. Grenades, solar grenades. Obviously, I don't have a second set of armor pieces yet, so I just left all that. But pretty much what you want is grenades and melee abilities, because even with Night Stalker, we're using the melee instead of the dodge for invisibility. And then as far as weapons go, Better Devils, obviously. Manananan SR4, really well, worked really well. I was using that a lot for, just keeping my distance, and then also boss damage. This was my main boss damage outside of supers. And then, of course, Wardrift Coil. Why use anything else? So let's go ahead and rock this guide. Alright, so for this one, I actually killed just about everything. I really wasn't worried about time, considering the last guide I did took me half an hour just to kill the boss, and I didn't have any points at the end of that. So I said, screw it, I'm just going to kill everything, get some super energy, whatever. So just go ahead and kill all these guys if you want to, or you can just run straight on through. We're pretty much going to speed up all the way past the Infinite Forest. So, because besides that, it's random every time, so you could get the same thing I did. You might get something completely different. So it's kind of hard to make a guide on that point. But pretty much, if you want to kill everything in the Infinite Forest, just be careful. Use your surroundings, cover. Keep a good distance away from stuff, the usual. Alright, so once you get here, again, you can skip this section right here. All you have to do is go all the way around to the right, and then just run down that section, just completely ignore everything. But if you want to kill everything, go for it too. Just like the Infinite Forest, just kind of keep your cover, keep your distance a little bit. And then, we'll move on to the section where you actually have to kill stuff. Alright, so once you get here, just go ahead and pretty much use either a grenade or your energy weapon, whatever that might be, to at least knock out the shields. If you have arc, it'll pretty much kill several of these harpies. But otherwise, just go ahead and knock them down. If you have a Masterworks weapon, go ahead and use that to kill them. Get some orbs if you need them. And then pretty much just worry solely about the harpies, or if you want to, you don't have to kill these guys, just jump into the bubble, kill it, and then jump into the teleporter as quickly as possible. You can also do that. That's actually what I would recommend on the next section, which is a little bit easier for skipping, because most of it doesn't even spawn in until after you're way up there. So what I like to do is just stick by this tree right here. Hopefully you have a scout rifle of some sort. Go ahead and knock these guys out. Just stay back so nothing else spawns in. And then just go ahead and kill these things. And then if you want to skip them, what you're going to do is immediately go into the bubble, like you'll see me do here. You'll hear everything spawn in. Right there, what you want to do is shoot the box. Should be 2 with the Better Devils, 3 with the Manananan if that's what you're using. And then as soon as that blows up, start walking towards that teleporter and then jump in, because you will be able to get over into the teleporter just as the Hydra is spawning in. Now if you want to do the points, I finished this with 4,000 and some points. Pretty decent, I might say. It did take me right at an hour to do it, so just keep that in mind. Several deaths, a lot of deaths. But yeah, if you want the points, the Hydra is worth 1,000. So just go ahead and kill that guy or just blow up the box. I would not recommend using your super until the next section. You're definitely going to want a tether for that. That's why we start off with the Night Stalker and then jump into the Gunslinger. Make sure your Wardcliff coil is loaded up. That's something you're going to hear me say a lot in the boss fight. Go ahead, and now you want a super. Just go ahead and shoot as many tethers as possible. Throw a grenade down there if you got it. Go invis if you have to, because otherwise you start this whole section over again. I'm talking about as soon as you get out of the Infinite Forest, which can be a major pain, especially if you've had trouble getting up to this point. So just pretty much use what you got here as cover. Feel free to shoot off a rocket or two. There are several majors that will drop, or are supposed to drop, power bricks. So go ahead and shoot if you like, but I would recommend your Masterworks weapon, if you've got one, to make those extra orbs, because these are pretty decently easy. And then what you want to do is just kind of stand back here. There are going to be, I would say, about 10 more Vex up here. Again, if you're brave, you can probably skip these guys. Shoot the little cube and then go invis and then run through the door. If you want to play it safe, obviously just kind of stick back and kill everything. Make sure you pick up all your ammo. The boss fight is extremely rough on ammo. I was having a real hard time with the Gunslinger trying to get all my ammo. But once you get here, go ahead and take out these 3 hobgoblins. One's going to be a major. And kind of stay back in this tunnel. It gives you some great cover. And then there's going to be 2 harpies on the left. And I say 3 hobgoblins because there's also one on the far right on top. And then once you get close enough, where that little Vex gate is, there's going to be 4, I believe it's 4 total harpies, one of which is going to be a major, plus 2 hobgoblins. So just be careful of those guys. Obviously with the major harpy, feel free to use your Wardcliff coil if that's what you've decided to use, because you will get 1 power brick back from killing him, or you're supposed to anyways. That's something I do wish Bungie would really fix, is the weapon drops, or the ammo drops, because in Destiny 1 you had it so even red bars had a pretty decent chance of granting power ammo. I don't think that's the case in Destiny 2. I very, very, very rarely get a power box from normal enemies. That's something that's got to be changed. But yeah, go ahead. As you see me here do here, there's going to be a bunch of Vex goblins. There's going to be 2 Minotaurs as well. One's a major, one's a normal bard health bard, enemy, whatever. Just go ahead and stay back, take care of them. If you've got a void energy weapon, obviously use that, or a grenade works fantastic as well to get those shields down. And just kind of, stay back. You can always drop down, use the stairs as like a head glitch area, and then we'll just go ahead and move on to the next section. Alright, so here is where you want to use a smoke bomb or a dodge to go into as quickly as possible. So as you can see, that didn't go off nearly fast enough. If you die here, you have to start all the way back over from just outside of the Infinite Forest again. So you really want to play it safe here. I learned that the hard way. So hopefully you guys can learn from my mistakes. You can use this as cover. And then it's pretty much, you're gonna want a scout rifle here, whether it's energy weapon, which would be preferable so you can pop those shields, or something like the Nameless Midnight if that's what you're rocking. There's going to be 2 hobgoblins up at the top. You just saw me kill, and there's, I think, a total of 3 Minotaurs, 2 of which I want to say are majors. One is a normal bard health. Go ahead and kill them. You do want to stay back because they will melt you really quick. And yeah, after that, we're just going to go ahead and move on. Once you get here, this is your next checkpoint. So if you die anytime after this, before the boss fight, you will start back here. So, take a sigh of relief. You've made it this far and not died. It can be a little difficult. What I like to do is use my Masterworks weapon, get as many orbs as possible. Obviously, if you're going for points and you're haven't taken over 18 minutes, you'll get some points for double kills as well for the orbs. And then up here, there's going to be about 6 goblins, 2 hobgoblins, and 1 normal health minotaur. You can skip them if you want to. Just go up to where you can see kind of on the right up there. You can jump up onto that and then jump into the teleporter into the next section. Or you can just play it easy, take it safe, and kill these guys, maybe get some good ammo. Alright, and then up here, you want to stay back. There's going to be 5 fanatics. Those are the ones that explode, like you see here. Go ahead and kill them. Maybe it's 6. I think it's 6, actually. So go ahead and kill those dudes. And then what I like to do is just take out these hobgoblins. There's going to be 4 total. You're going to see me kill 3 of them here, and then 1 a little bit later on. But you can kill them before then. Just take these guys out, and then you'll... Or maybe there's 5. Yeah, there's 5. You can't see the last one. He's just behind this guy I'm shooting at right now. Go ahead and run back. If you want to, you can switch to an arc energy weapon. Just blast these shields away. Or just use whatever energy weapon you have. Wardcliff coil would be fine as well. Just get rid of these guys as quick as possible. If you need to, I believe you can jump back down to the next section, but I'm not 100% sure. It does get a little bit dicey if you're not fast enough. Usually all these goblins don't come walking down here. They usually stay back, so I'm not sure what they're doing way up here. Just keeping that in mind, that they're either going to stay there where they spawn in, or they're going to come rushing at you. 9 times out of 10 though, they are going to stay back. Alright, so now you're going to want to go invis again, or you can save it. You should save it for the return trip back this way, because we are going to run back this way. We're also going to use our super, so if you got it, great. It will definitely help this section out a lot, because there are, I think, a total of 3 Minotaurs. 4 Minotaurs, because we just killed one. And on top of the giant one. So here we go. Wardcliff coil didn't do a damn thing. So I just unload my super, and then I'm very weak. So come back here, and then you can just pretty much just pick everything off with a good scout rifle. And then yeah, we'll move on to the next section. Alright, so this is where I switched to the gunslinger. If you want to wait until after this section, that's fine, but we are going to skip this entire little bit because it can be very dangerous, very fast. What I do, just jump up here, and then if you want to, you can just keep on going. I think I turn around to get some super energy from what I can kill over here. And then the very next section is the boss fight, which takes a while just because we're not doing so much damage, which is why we're using Celestial Nighthawk. But it also takes a long time because it's extremely rough. Like right now we're at 32 minutes. I will skip until the run that we didn't die on, and then we'll see how long it took. Alright, so it only took about 15 minutes to kill the boss. A huge improvement from the other Curse of Osiris Nightfall. But what you want to do here is stay back. There will be cover spawning in right there. There's going to be 2 goblins that spawn in on the left, 2 on the right. Kill them really quick. And then just kind of focus on the boss. You will hear an audio cue every time enemies spawn in. It'll just be that like Vex scream thing that they do sometimes. And for this first section, they're going to be both on like your 10 and 2 if you're looking at a clock, or just your left and your right, just right there. This time there's going to be again 4 goblins. I want to say it's 4 on each side. Yeah, there's 4 on each side. And then the next wave of enemies is going to be 4 hobgoblins, I want to say. But I'm not 100% positive. Be very careful doing what I just did. You will hear an audio cue every time the boss attacks. So as soon as you hear that, you can start going for cover, or going for an orb, or going for ammo, and then just pop back, wait for your health to go up, and then pretty much just use that audio cue to get back into cover, and then kind of just peek out, do damage to the boss. Throw a grenade, because the swarm grenade actually does damage to the boss. Not as much as the Titan's pulse grenade, but it does a decent amount. Here we go for the next wave of enemies. Always mind, in this boss fight, you have to mind where your cover is spawning. Especially in the latter parts of this Nightfall. where they're just constantly spawning and respawning and going away. That was my downfall for probably a good hour's worth of deaths. You have to pay attention to where they're spawning in, where the enemies are spawning at, because in a few minutes it's going to get very hectic. So, but for right now, just go ahead and keep doing damage to the boss. I would highly recommend holding on to your super until after the first wave of enemies spawns in. So just pretty much just tick away damage to the boss until you see, I believe it's 4 hobgoblins and 4 goblins, or it's 2 and 2 from each side, something like that. Not very many, and they will spawn in again in front of you, to the left and to the right. So if you can keep an eye on the right side gate, you can take them out pretty quickly if you get there fast enough. There we go. And then just do the same thing for the other side. I like to stay back here, that way the hobgoblins and everything is coming at me from head on instead of from each side. But you know, that's up to you, whatever you're most comfortable with. And then always, always, always take care of all of the ads first. You do not want to be doing damage to the boss, because if you get him too far down and there's still ads, he's going to start spinning, more ads are going to spawn in, and you're going to have a very rough time. So always take care of the ads first, and then, you know, pop your super. As you can see, a good chunk of damage went on. Alright, so he's going to roll around to about here. Now, again, on your left and right, there are going to be 2 of these massive minotaurs, you know, mini boss minotaurs, whatever the game calls them. They're going to spawn 1 on the left, 1 on the right. What you're going to want to do, make sure your Wardcliff coil has some ammo in it. Like I said at the beginning, you're going to want to hold on to as much ammo as possible. If you can, take out some of these Vex now, but once you get inside this bubble, nothing can hurt you. So if you want to, wait for your grenade to spawn back in, you know, reload all your weapons, and then usually 1 Wardcliff coil shot and 1 grenade is going to do the trick. That's at 335 light, so you know, keep that in mind as well. And then what I like to do, I usually don't come over here. I like to stay back, use my scout rifle, but I did want this power ammo. So go ahead and take those guys out. Whether you come on that direction or stay towards the back, you are going to want to take those guys out before you deal with this second Minotaur. Because once you shoot this second box, the boss will kind of reawaken and he'll also be looking at you. So just be sure you are 110% ready to deal with both this guy and the boss moving around. After that, he is going to start turning around. Or he should be. There he goes. And he is going to go into, I believe, that first spot again. And it's pretty much just a repeat of the very first section of the boss fight. Watch where your cover spawns in. More ads are going to spawn in. So take care of them first on both sides. They will spawn in both times. I believe this section has 4 goblins and 4 fanatics. So go ahead and take care of them before you do anything else. And then again, just start plucking away at the boss slowly, slowly, slowly. If you need to, wait for that audio cue where he's begun shooting and then just take off for that ammo. You want to be doing it in between cover points. So after that, go ahead and just keep doing damage to the boss until the next wave, which is going to be again 2 minutes, the last 2 mini boss minotaurs. This time, however, there's going to be 6, instead of 6 goblins, it's going to be 6 harpies, 2 of which, just like the time before, are majors. They're going to kind of be guarding the boss for whatever reason. If you can kind of kill them off before you start dealing with the First Minotaur, I kind of recommend you do whatever damage you can before the Minotaur starts shooting you. And then just hop inside of the bubble and, you know, just kind of do your work. As you can see, now is a really good time to get some ammo while the Minotaurs are getting outside of the bubble. Once they get outside, you need to get inside. These things can actually melt you pretty quick, so you're going to have to be very fast at doing this. But once that Minotaur or that Harpy is dead, you're safe. It's a safe zone. You know, let your grenade charge up. Whatever you want to do, make sure all your weapons are reloaded. Go ahead and deal with this first Minotaur. And then find cover, because he will smash you so hard. As you can see, 3 hits almost killed me. And again, that's at 335 light. If you're lower, it's probably going to do a bit more damage. So just be very careful of that. As you can see, this is where I'm taking care of my Harpies. Go ahead and kill both of them before you start dealing damage to the next Minotaur. Because just like last time, as soon as you pop that cube, the boss is going to be waking up as well. Let's go ahead and deal with that. Make sure your Wardcliff coil is fully reloaded. I wish it held more than one in the cartridge, or in the magazine or whatever, but whatever. Alright, go ahead and wait if you're going to wait. Shoot the cube. Get ready. Throw your grenade. Pretty much do as much damage as you possibly can, as quickly as possible, because as you can see, that boss was already waking up. Alright, so this is where it's going to get hectic. I'm not sure how many ads spawn in, but it is a constant thing. You're going to want to be moving quite a bit. Because once they start spawning in, it seems like they don't stop. It's going to start off with goblins, and then hobgoblins, and then minotaurs. So it's going to be like 3 or 4 minotaurs, and it's so dangerous. With the boss shooting you, with the minotaurs shooting you, with the hobgoblins shooting you, you're going to want to move very quickly from side to side. You know, Wardcliff coil the minotaurs, as you can see. Cover's already being manipulated, so don't even worry about dealing damage to the boss right now. Just kill as many enemies as possible before the boss starts moving again. Pay attention to where they're spawning in, because they will spawn in, I think, in random directions as well. So definitely kill as many as possible while keeping kind of an eye and an ear out for where the boss is at. And always be moving. Don't even worry about the boss. I don't know why I'm throwing that grenade. You're going to want to just keep an eye and an ear out for those enemy spawns in, because as you can see, they come very quickly. And half the time, previous runs, not this one specifically, the cover was spawning in a way that I had to go from one end of this little map to the other. So you're going to want to be very careful about this. See, like right here, I could have been dead very quickly. I got very lucky here. Very lucky right there. If I had died right there, I would not be making this guide for you. So it can be very frustrating. As you can see, I'm moving as fast as possible. And I don't even think the Minotaurs are out yet. So just be very careful. But once you kill all these ads, I do believe that's it. Once you get through all the Minotaurs, all the hobgoblins, once those stop spawning in, you're golden. So as you can see, I whip out that Wardcliff coil. I believe there's 2 minutes or 4 minotaurs. I killed 2 right there. There's 2 more. I think those are the only ads left. Got very lucky with that cover spawn. That was nice. But for the most part, that's it. Once you kill all these ads, it will keep rotating. So as soon as you have all these ads cleared, use your super on the boss, especially if you're rocking Celestial Nighthawk, and I highly suggest you try it out. Like I said, it's on sale from Xur this weekend. Let's go ahead and do that. Wardcliff coil these 2 guys, and you should be good to do the last little bit of damage. So hopefully I kind of helped you guys through this last part. It is kind of hard to explain with everything going crazy, but if you found it helpful, enjoyable, informative, whatever, if you liked it at all, hit the like button, subscribe, stay positive, be happy, be healthy, live long and prosper, and I will talk to you guys more than likely on Tuesday.
You've done well, Guardian. That corpse could be useful. I'll retrieve it soon.
Do you feel it? The light is back. We're back. Eyes out, Guardian.